Hey Hawk fans, even if it's been years since you graduated, the Hawkeyes are your team for life. Well, you can have a Farm Bureau agent for life, and auto, and home and business insurance. Imagine that, one insurance agent for everything. It's that simple. Former Hawkeye and All-American Mitch King can be your Farm Bureau agent for life. Call Mitch at 319-653-5428. Tell him the walk-on sent you. That's 319-653-5428. It's your future. Let's protect it. Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company.
You were listening to a Pleasure podcast. For more from our Sex Podcast Collective, visit pleasurepodcasts.com.
Welcome back to Private Parts Unknown, a podcast about love and sexuality around the world. I'm Courtney Kocak, and today we are getting hitched in Las Vegas, baby. That is right. I actually got married last month in Vegas. It was freaking awesome, and I wanted to invite my privates along to celebrate with us. So that is what we are doing today. Today is part wedding time capsule, part guide to Vegas wedding planning, which, if you don't know, is an amazing place to get married. So good. You're going to hear all about it. And I have to say, I am not the type of girl who ever dreamed of her wedding day. Like, literally never. I just wanted it to be fun and easy. But unexpectedly, completely unexpectedly, it was one of the best days of my life. My husband called it magical. His friend is an art dealer, and his review of our wedding was, "That was the most fun, laid-back wedding I've ever been to. It was epic. Effortlessly cool," which is such a good review. I was like, okay, I nailed it. I totally nailed it. With one minor exception, which you are going to hear about, I crushed the wedding planning so hard. I think if you are planning a Las Vegas wedding, you should definitely steal my blueprint. And I am going to give you all that info today. First, I am going to reminisce with my husband. You are going to hear some audio from the wedding ceremony and reception speeches. And then I am going to give you our Vegas wedding planning breakdown, which you are free to steal. So let's get married, privates. Okay, this is our post-wedding deconstruction of Courtney and Wade get hitched in Vegas.
Super fun.
Super fun. Magical, right, baby?
Magical.
Okay, so let's go through the planning. So Vegas was my idea.
And it was a good idea.
It was a good idea. You didn't like it at first.
Well, I had Wigwam on the brain.
What is Wigwam?
The place in Phoenix.
This hotel that you kind of had a little fantasy about?
Yeah. It's like a vintage desert resort.
Great tennis.
Great tennis.
And you just thought...
I'd play tennis.
You played... No, you thought it would be easy for our families to hang out there, which is true.
Yeah, there was a lot of nice, like at Mirage was like Cinder Bar and casino. At Wigwam, there's a lot of nice rooms with fireplaces and circles of chairs outside with fire pits. It's really relaxing. I think they would have enjoyed it, but we'll just have to do that
another time
for our 5-year anniversary party or something.
Yeah, we had so much fun that we were like, shit, we should throw a party every 5 years and get our vows renewed or some shit. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
but it would have been, the ceremony would have been a little more work.
A lot more work.
Yeah, a lot more. It would be more expensive too.
It would have been more expensive. So we got engaged in Vegas, and then in December, our beloved dog died, Georgia, and that's why we got engaged like a year and a half or 2.5 years ago.
Summer 2022, was that what it was?
I think so.
Yeah.
Summer 2022, so almost 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then neither of us was in a rush.
Mm-mm.
But then what happened?
Well, Doodle died and we were so sad.
We were so sad.
We felt bonded and we thought, why don't we go ahead and
actually do it?
Mm-hmm.
That was you though, right?
I think it was us.
It was both of us. I think it just made us like aware of our own mortality, and
I'm glad we did it because it was really special with everybody.
it was so special. So yeah, I was just like, I had no expectations of my wedding day being like a perfect day or anything. I was just like, let's have this be fun and easy and no pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Those were my goals. So a Vegas wedding sounded perfect with Elvis.
Here we go. Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas.
So that's what we did. We got married at the Little White Chapel.
Mm-hmm.
And we started planning in like January. And then I got on the website and I was Googling where we could have a dinner, and nobody was putting their prices on the websites except Joe's Stone Crab in Vegas. So I got on there and messaged them saying we were having a Vegas wedding on April 27th and we wanted to do our dinner there. And then we did all this planning, and what happened?
We went for a little walk the day of, and we stopped by the facility because we had booked a hotel next door. And when we went in to confirm, they didn't have us on their list because we had booked a room in Chicago.
I think somehow I messaged, I thought I was just messaging their corporate headquarters, and like obviously they did all their events through that place.
We got lucky that they had a room
that fit our 37 people.
And we were lucky we didn't have 45 people because
I know.
They would have had to sit out in the front. It would have been okay, I guess. But our group fit perfectly, just like a shoe in there.
Yeah, it was.
Not an extra chair.
It was perfect, and it didn't cost. They transferred our deposit, and so it cost just slightly over what I was expecting, but it wasn't because of the snafu.
Mm-mm.
So that
and the food was awesome.
The food was really good. I didn't really eat any.
It was really good. The steak
the
was
Prosecco.
good. Everything was the desserts, the salads, the apps.
You tried everything. You basically ate my entree and my dessert.
Oh, the crab cakes are so good.
Oh, I didn't really like them.
Really?
Mm-mm. But I wasn't that hungry. But yeah, so we boarded Joy on Friday morning, and we got off.
Her first long board.
Her first long board, but she had been doing well on her visits.
She did amazing.
She did really good. And then we left ahead of schedule. We left at like 9:40, which we were supposed to leave at 10. And then we had the longest car ride out there.
Oh, God. Yeah, that was agonizing.
We thought we were going to get there early and like our families could meet each other and have dinner, and that so did not happen. 2
accidents of trucks.
Yeah. And my mom was like tapped out from being stressed out about traveling. And so we wound up
But we rolled into town at 5.
Oh, yeah. We went to the wedding bureau office.
Which was fun. That lady was super nice.
Yeah. We went to window number 3, which is my lucky number. And yeah, we had a really sweet lady who helped us out with the paperwork.
We're ready.
I swear.
I swear.
The information provided. On this document. Is true and correct. To the best of my knowledge. And there is no legal objection. To this marriage. Thank you. You may now sign.
Thank you.
And then we went to the Mirage where we were staying, and we met up with Machi and Ryan and Jordan.
Oh, yeah, we had some Italian food.
Yeah, and then Mike stopped by, and then Danielle, and I hung out with Danielle. Wade had a minor meltdown Friday night.
A little bit.
Why?
Well, I have been so stressed and tired, and then I thought I wasn't like going to sleep when you said the makeup person was coming over, and I was just like having a panic attack about that.
Yes, but I reminded him it's not that big of a deal. Everything's going to be fine. And you wound up going to sleep, and it was fine, right?
Yeah, it was fine.
And then the makeup person came, and then we went to get breakfast, and that's when we checked on Joe's stone crab and found out, and then we had to quick triage that situation. They were very helpful. And then our photographer picked us up, Keith.
That was kind of like when he picked us up, that was sort of like the beginning of the show.
Yes.
And he dropped us off at the venue, and everybody was there. We get out of the car. That was super great to see everybody, and they all had cool outfits on or weird outfits.
I know. I wish I would have taken a picture because that was like so special to see I was like, is that our group? And then they were all waiting for us. And we had like the biggest party there.
We're like, some people came. They actually came.
And they dressed all pretty, and yeah. I wish I would have taken more time to talk. It felt a little rushed, but now I'm like, oh, I should have savored that more. But it was awesome. And then we went in and we picked our songs with our Elvis. And then we went up to the room. Everyone was waiting up for us in their chapel amore or whatever. And then it was awesome. Elvis did Can't Help Falling in Love. Now or Never.
It's now or never.
And then Viva Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Our Elvis was really fun.
He was so good.
Yeah. Just the right amount of groovy and smooth and sweet.
Yeah.
Everybody have a seat. Thank you very much. Well, welcome everybody to the world famous Little White Wedding Chapel on this 27th of April, 2024, to bring together Wade and Courtney in holy matrimony. Give it up for them, everybody. All right.
I really liked how short and sweet the ceremony was. First, our Elvis did like the regular version of the wedding vows, kind of, and then he did an Elvis version, which is so good.
Well, love is kind and beautiful and gentle and joyous. And love is peaceful. Love bears all things, it hopes all things, and endures all things. And love never fails. Love is not boastful, nor is it proud, nor is it jealousy, but love is unconditional. So I ask both of you to believe in the life, the happiness, the love, but especially believe in the love and the life that you will spend with each other forever and ever. Beautiful. Tongue twister there. Yeah. Okay. So just what day is this? No, I'm just joking. Okay. Are we all having a good time yet? Yes. Yes. All right. So you're just going to repeat after me. Okay. Wade. I, Wade.
I, Wade.
Take you, Courtney.
Take you, Courtney.
To be my wife.
To be my wife.
To have and to hold.
To have and to hold.
In good times and bad.
In good times and bad.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
For richer, for poor.
For richer, for poor.
For now and forever.
For now and forever.
I'll give her a kiss on her hand. Beautiful. All right, now, Courtney. I, Courtney. Take you, Wade. To be my husband.
To be my husband.
To have and to hold.
To have and to hold.
In good times and bad.
In good times.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
For richer, for poor.
For richer, for poor.
For now and forever.
For now and forever.
I'll give him a kiss on the cheek. And now, Wade, repeat after me, please. I promise to always love you tender.
I promise to always love you tender.
And never leave you at Heartbreak Hotel.
Never leave you in Heartbreak Hotel.
I'll never have a suspicious mind.
I'll never have a suspicious mind.
And I'll always be your hunka burning love. There we go. And now, Courtney, I promise to always love you tender.
I promise to always love you tender.
And never return you to sender.
And never return you to sender.
I'll never step on your blue suede shoes.
I'll never step on your blue suede shoes.
And I'll always be your loving teddy bear.
And I'll always be your loving teddy bear.
Well, here's your beautiful flowers, Courtney. Well, folks, then now, by the power vested in me, the king of rock and roll, the authority given to me by the great state of Nevada, it's my great pleasure to announce today that Wade and Courtney are now husband and wife. Wade, give your wife a big kiss.
Not a super long ceremony, but it was perfect. It was really perfect, and it was fun that there was singing and stuff.
Mm-hmm. It may have been the first Elvis Vegas ceremony for a lot of those people.
For like pretty much everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone else had been to a Vegas wedding, had they? Yeah, that was so fun. And then
we did a photo shoot with Keith. We did group photos first there. And then there was a dueling photographers because I ordered backup photographers. So we did a mini photo shoot with their guy. And then we went with Keith and we went to like Mandalay Bay and Four Seasons. And
He was thorough.
he was very thorough. I think we had some really nice pics. We need to look at those.
My mom wants some of those.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to get some printed for Machi. And then we went to Joe's and met up right at 5. Did a few more pictures with Keith. And then it was such a fun dinner, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really fun.
And then there were some speeches.
That 3 hours went by quick.
Yeah. Mike gave a speech. Stacy.
Dave Rankin.
My
brother.
Joe. And your brother.
Rick gave a little one. Your dad.
Did Rick give a little one? I hope I get them all on tape.
We got here yesterday, and I made my first bet was $100, and I made $1,100 on that bet. What's he playing? Roulette. I put it on green. I was like 11-1, and it happened. Wow. So that was fun, and then we got up today and went for a little walk and happened to come by here to check on a reservation, which it occurred to us we made in Chicago instead of Las Vegas. And luckily they were able to make it all happen and accommodate us, and we still have a great room and a great dinner. We're very lucky to have all of you here, all of our friends, our family, Mom, Mark, Carrie. Thank you guys for supporting this. Most of all, I'm lucky to be married, officially married to you. I love you.
I just weighed. Ooh. Wade found this like a few months ago, or a month ago, when he was cleaning his room. And it's this book of love poems that I gave him when we first started dating. And I said, I think this love could grow up to do great things. I hope. And it has.
I didn't record the speeches straight through, unfortunately. I kind of had to piece it together. So I don't have the beginning of my dad's speech, but he basically thanked everybody for taking the time and the money and the effort to come and celebrate with us. And he said some other sweet stuff. And then we picked up here.
To come and support these guys, so thank you, okay? And Wade checks a couple of my boxes anyway. First of all, I want Courtney to be happy and content as somebody, and she found Wade, so that checks one box. And the other box is Wade's just a super nice guy, and welcome to the family, Wade.
Thank you, Mark.
Listen, privates, nothing gives me naked confidence like smelling good. Okay? I just like to know that I'm not stinky. I mean, that is such an easy source of insecurity. So if I'm smelling good, my confidence is through the roof. And that is why I love Lumi Whole Body Deodorant. Unlike certain other deodorants, Lumi is powered by mandelic acid to deliver outrageous 72-hour odor control everywhere from your pits to your feet, and yes, even your privates. In fact, it was patients' concerns about private part odor that originally inspired the OBGYN who invented Lumi. Flash forward 6 years, and her game-changing whole body deodorant has now earned over 300,000 5-star reviews from people like me who love feeling confident from head to toe. And Lumi knows how to woo my Private Parts Unknown listeners because they are offering a special offer to new customers who get 15% off all Lumi products with the exclusive Private Parts Unknown code and link. So just use code PPU at lumideodorant.com. That is LUME LumiDeodorant.com. I freaking love Lumi. It really has been a game changer for me because I am looking for something paraben free. I'm looking for something baking soda free. I am looking for something pH balanced for safe use below the belt. Lumi is check, check, check. They have an amazing variety of fresh, bright scents like clean tangerine, lavender sage, or toasted coconut. My two favorites are clean tangerine and toasted coconut. I love them, love them, love them. And Lumi's new starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like a mini body wash and deodorant wipes, which are amazing if you're on the go, for travel, for just staying fresh, and free shipping. So as a special offer for Private Parts Unknown listeners, new customers get 15% off all Lumi products with the exclusive PPU code. And if you combine the 15% off with the already discounted starter pack, that equals over 40% off their starter pack. So use code PPU for 15% off your first purchase at LumiDeodorant.com. That is code PPU at LumiDeodorant.com. Privates, you gotta head over to Lumi because they will keep you fresh. So fresh. Hey, privates with penises, I am talking to you. Okay, if you get in your head when it comes to having sex, or maybe your penis doesn't act the way you want it to, then I have a solution for you. A penis pump, specifically from Bathmate. Now listen, hear me out. Penis pumps might sound funny, but they are actually an incredible tool to help you attain harder erections when you want them, and more intense orgasms. And they can even help you last longer. Bathmate is the world's best-selling penis pump for a reason. With over 1 million satisfied men and even more satisfied partners, Bathmate harnesses the power of water through a hydraulic vacuum, acting as a secondary pump to your heart to draw blood safely into the penis. These are more effective and comfortable than traditional air pumps. It's like a workout for your cock. Bathmate helps flush toxins and maintain tissue health, providing a safe, effective way to exercise an area neglected in the gym. While the user will feel an immediate benefit after using Bathmate, the greatest benefit is typically felt after 2 weeks of regular use. And you can rest assured in trying Bathmate out because there is a 100% money-back guarantee. So confident in the benefits of the product, Bathmate offers a 60-day 100% money-back guarantee starting from the day the product lands on your doorstep. So try it out, and if you're not satisfied, they'll send you a full refund. So how do you use it? Good question. Well, Bathmate is the world's only FDA-regulated hydro pump. So you use it in water. The hydro pump lends itself to use as part of your daily wash routine. So you can do it in the privacy of a bath or shower. You simply fill the Bathmate with warm water, you slide your penis in and compress the gator against the pelvis. Or if you have the Hydro Extreme, you can use the handball attachment that comes with that. And basically this induces a vacuum. And you leave the Bathmate on for about 3 minutes and then you release the valve. Recommended use is between 3 to 5 times per week. And while Bathmate can be used like a conventional pump for sexual spontaneity, the main intention of Bathmate is the private training aid, lending itself to discretion. This device is not a sex toy and does not directly stimulate pleasure, but it might help you have more fun in the bedroom. And right now, Bathmate is offering our listeners 10% off their first order when you go to bathmatedirect.com/privateparts. That is Bathmate, BATHMATE direct.com/privateparts to get 10% off your first order. Again, bathmatedirect.com/privateparts. There is a link in our episode description to make it super handy, and have fun pumping those penises, privates. So I was so living in the moment. Normally I record everything. I don't know what was going on, but I was just living in the moment, enjoying these people saying really nice things to me. And I didn't even think to start recording until like halfway in. So this is where I get out my recorder and start recording. So I actually don't have all of the speeches. Wade's friend Mike went, and he has known Wade since college, and he was just like, I've known Wade for a really long time and I've never seen him so happy and doing so well, and it must be because of Courtney. And so that was sweet. And then our friend Andrew, who is also Wade's business partner, went, and he said that we were together when he first met us and they were opening Bar Angelus, and he remembered how we would come in and have a couple of drinks and then we would be like kissing at Bar Angelus, which is, I'm sure, accurate. And so this is where I start recording as he's finishing up that speech.
Early couple stuff.
All right, here we go. This is a couple. Let's continue ever since.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so I remember when I was working in Hollywood and Courtney was living in Hollywood, and we would go get drinks after work. And she was just like, yeah, I started seeing this guy. I've seen him a few times. I'm like, oh my God, where'd you meet him? She said, Tinder. And I was like, okay, let's go. And then you just looked so happy. Like every time you looked like happier and happier. And I was like, okay, I'm so excited to meet this guy. And then I met you, Wade, and I was just like, oh my God, all of this makes sense. And every time I saw you, you seemed happier. And every time you talked about him, you seemed more invested and just more in love. And just, you seemed to also like sparkle in being supported in who you were. And as somebody who loves you so much, that was like, that just like made my heart sing. And I was just like, I'm a fan of his forever. And I'm so happy to be here with you tonight.
Okay, well, I have been employed by both of the people at this table that have employed me over the years. At one point, I was managing a building because of Courtney in North Koreatown, and I was working at 2 different bar restaurants because of Wade, so I'm going to tread lightly. I'm glad that you are seeing how happy Wade is. Man, before Wade, Courtney was sad. She was real down in the dumps. There was other guys before Wade, believe it or not. They were good. And so we talked a lot. I remember she would call me and I would leave my crappy job to go wander the parking lot as she would basically cry on the phone about some guy. And we had therapy sessions a lot. And she was going through it for a long time, as I was. And that's the thing, is like people always would tell us, we were single into our 30s and stuff. People would tell us, oh, when you know, you know. When you know, you know. And then nothing sucks more than that. When people tell you that. When you're single and people are like, oh, you'll know when you meet the person. And that never felt like any of the people we were meeting. So. And then magically, she did. I remember when she met Wade, and it was like, she knew. And it was just, I never got the calls anymore. And she wasn't crying anymore. And everything was great. She knew. She just knew. I was crying still for years. But then I met someone, and it was immediate.
Yeah.
Like, immediately, I was like, this is my person. I know it now. I know that is a real thing. And they are an example of a real thing. When you know, you know. So,
when you know, you know.
I love you both so much. I'm so happy for you both. And that's it for me.
Somebody from this table.
All right.
I don't need that goddamn thing. Since our friend here kicked it off with acknowledging that these 2 wonderful people did have others in their past, I got to bring this up that Wade moved to LA about the same time we moved to LA, and we had a couple of small girls who loved it when either Wade or Ryan showed up. They thought they were in the cat's ass. Brought friends with them. That was great. But Wade had a habit of, bringing his latest into our house, and little girls, they got an eye for this thing. And, like Wade would come in with somebody like, if you don't mind me naming names, one comment from Beatrice was, Misty, what kind of name is that? What are you, setting on a hose? She was like 6 when she said this. But, Courtney comes up to, not Westlake Village, but to Agora Hills. I think it was for Thanksgiving. And even though the shout out we got on her podcast was, we had to go to my cousin, my boyfriend's cousin's place for Thanksgiving dinner. He lived up in, I don't know, someplace like between here and St.
Okay, I'm just going to fact check Joe here. So actually, what I was talking about on the podcast is that we had gotten into a heated discussion about Louis C.K. and Me Too, and that is what I was talking about on the podcast. So anyway, just a minor fact check.
But the girls did not give Courtney an oh, Courtney, she's cool. So you had that going for you.
Thank you.
While I have the floor, I know Doris and Margaret want to say this, but those of you that know the story, and there's a guy, the first member of this family that I met was he was a dorky bald guy, a little bit fatter than Wade is now. But it's Wade's father, and I'd like us all to take a glass with him. And I know that he's looking over.
Cheers.
Well, I'm going to piggyback on Mike's testimony that Wade has never been happier between 2002 when they met and now, 2024. I can fill in from 1981. This is the Now, there was a period from 1978 until I was born in 1981. That perhaps
pretty happy.
Regardless, we're very, very hot. Courtney, I just want to say that it's been really an honor to know you over this last 8 years or 7.5, whatever it's been. We love you, and you're part of our family as well. We're grateful to also meet Terry and Mark and the rest of your family and just kind of connect all the dots, because it's been we've heard about y'all for so long, and you're even better than we expected. We're really happy to be here with everybody. Thank you.
It's awesome.
I'm just picking on you because you're good at it.
To the newlyweds from the old newlyweds, it can be done, people.
Cheers. How about one more from down there somewhere?
I didn't want to force an open mic, but you want to do it now?
No, we don't have one.
No?
Oh, no.
You don't want to sing Daddy Waiter?
Oh, okay.
Just say so.
These are so my brothers love Wade, and one of my favorite voice messages that we ever got was basically them singing. Do you want to do it?
Well, we have Wade. Wade, I've known you since 2017, and knew you were a great guy from the start. This is from the
Wade! Oh.
We
that you left unspoken.
It was.
This is so cute.
We're good.
Yeah.
If anybody's dying to say anything, otherwise, we just really appreciate you all. I know it's been a travel for almost everyone in the room, and we are so grateful you came, and your presence is really the best gift, and we're so grateful that you're here. So thank you.
Thanks again.
And then your brother did his
Oh yeah.
Who Let the Dogs Out cover.
We thought that was going to be crazy, but it was really actually totally fine.
Yeah, it was. It was so short.
And then Jordan actually came up and said something very nice that we were like, oh, why didn't you just, what did he say? The super like?
The super like and the Beat Justin Bieber.
And the Justin Bieber, yeah.
Those were cute little, like,
yeah, Wade liked.
soft negs on the, it would have
Wade-
been funny.
Wade liked Justin Bieber when we started dating, but that wasn't a reason to count him out.
Yeah.
And Wade super liked me, and Jordan said that gives him inspiration for like that's not a waste of money.
That's a proof of concept.
Yeah, and then
This
after
little dog just being so good.
JoJo's in the middle of us right now, being a sweetheart.
We picked her up and they said she's perfect.
Yeah, she got a good review.
She got an old grumpy dog to play. They were like, he doesn't play. She got him to play. She's old grumpy McGruff.
She's been really good. And after our dinner, I asked Bill my Uncle Bill, if he had any advice, and he said, hold your husband's hand because that leads to something else. That was the one piece of advice we got. And Wade has been horny, so that is correct. And then we went to Center Bar, which is in the Mirage, and a bunch of our friends were still hanging out. And
I had the big win on Friday.
oh yeah, when we got there on Friday, Wade, what did you bet?
It was the very first bet I made. I just put $100 down on roulette on the green.
On green. And the odds are what, 11-1?
Mm-hmm. So I got $1,100 back.
Which felt like a good omen.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day, Mike won the same.
He did, yeah.
Bet. Oh, I threw the bouquet to Mallory very purposefully. But yeah, we hung out on Saturday night. Russell sold his cowboy hat, which everybody loved.
Oh, yeah.
And then the next morning, we took a little walk with Ryan. I went to brunch with Stacy and the boys and Danielle at Peppermill. Wade
with the Denny's
with the family, and I wound up over there too. And then we dropped Ryan and Jordan and your mom off at the airport. We went to visit my family at the Oyo Hotel or whatever it's called. Jordan was in a bad mood. My grandpa, it seemed like the trip had been really hard for him. That was like a whole vibe over there. It made me kind of sad. And then we gave Ben a ride to the airport, and then we headed back. And it actually wasn't too bad getting home, right? The traffic was much better.
Yeah, there was a couple little slow patches. There was one in, what was that town? Baker? That was kind of...
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah,
compared to
5 hours or
compared
something.
To Friday, it was like
7.5.
nothing. Yeah. Oh, we opened cards on Sunday night, and then I cried for like an hour while I was putting stuff away because of my grandpa's card.
Yep.
You know what my big thing is that I think I've been like trying to land on the premise for like this modern love thing, and it feels like I'm like so close to what the right thing is, but not quite. But this is what I think it is. I think it's that I rate days. I have this journal, and it has you rate the day from 1 to 10. And I have a lot of like 6s. Those are, most of my days are like, a bad day is like a 5 and a good day is like a 7. Which is fine, right? That's an okay place to be for life.
Mm-hmm.
And then Georgia died, and that day would have been a 0, except I got back to say goodbye. So it was a 2. And
that was so rough.
It was so terrible. But I was like, you know what? Even like the worst day can be redeemed by something like that, by like getting to say goodbye or whatever. And then, a few days before our wedding, I had this mammogram call back and I didn't have cancer. And so it was a 10, because any day you find out you don't have cancer is like,
that's a great day. Yeah.
That's automatically like a 10. And then our wedding, I did not expect to be a 10, and our wedding was a 10.
It was
such a good day.
It really was.
I got back to the room and I was saying that to you. I was like, I did not expect it to be like one of the best days of my life, but it totally was. And you were like, yeah, it was magical. And
Mike called me Monday and I didn't call him back, and I called him back today, or called me Tuesday or whatever. I called him back today when I was driving home from Culver City, and he was like in the middle of something, but he was just like, hey, I'm at the gallery. He's like, your wedding was amazing. So fun.
It was so awesome. I feel like even our guests had like a 10, you know?
Yeah.
But part of the reason my grandpa's card made me cry so hard is because I think my grandpa didn't realize how many like days there were a 7 or an 8 or a 9 or a 10 that he had in this relationship with this person that he loved so much. I think that's part of what is so hard for him right now, is that like they didn't choose. I put the number down on the journal. I decide what the number is. So part of it is just my perception. And he, I think, is realizing like he had so many good days that he didn't know. He had so many amazing days and he didn't know they were amazing until afterwards. So that's like my big lesson.
Rate higher now?
Yeah. Like you should treat your 10s like 10s. You should treat your good relationship like it's a good relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I'm glad we're married. I love you.
I love you too. I'm very glad we're married.
Hey Hawk fans, even if it's been years since you graduated, the Hawkeyes are your team for life. Well, you can have a Farm Bureau agent for life, and auto, and home and business insurance. Imagine that, one insurance agent for everything. It's that simple. Former Hawkeye and All-American Mitch King can be your Farm Bureau agent for life. Call Mitch at 319-653-5428. Tell him the walk-on sent you. That's 319-653-5428. It's your future. Let's protect it. Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company.
Hey, privates. Boo, boo. Privates with penises. I'm talking to you. Our sponsor, Fleshlight, can help you reach new heights with your self-pleasure. And that is because Fleshlight is the #1 selling male sex toy in the world. And they don't just leave you hanging over there. At Fleshlight, you can explore sex toys with expert guides and advice, especially if you're a beginner or you're looking to level up. If you have been listening to the show for a while, you know how I feel about self-pleasure, and it is very, very good. And I definitely endorse using sex toys. I have a lot of fun with sex toys myself. So with the Fleshlight Girls series, you can embrace your wildest porn star fantasies with a different porn actress every night. What? With the variety of models, sensations, and intensities, you can live out limitless fantasies. And you can automate your fantasies with the universal launch that fits most Fleshlight products. With its innovative touch control system, just set the controls, sit back, and enjoy. And you have pleasure right in your hands. Your pleasure is in your complete control. And as the ultimate male pleasure device on the market, it's as versatile as you are. Anatomical, stamina building, vibrating, or made for couples, you name it. You define your luxury moment. And I just want to say, if you have any shame around sex toys, please don't. It is so much better than being weird with girls because you feel kind of desperate or whatever. Fleshlight just allows you to chill out, wait for the right girl when she comes, and in the meantime, you know you are going to be getting yours and having a good time. So you don't even have to sweat it. And right now, Fleshlight is offering Private Parts Unknown listeners 10% off your order with our code PRIVATE10. So you just go to ppupod.com. That's the website, ppupod.com. You click Fleshlight and you use the promo code PRIVATE10 to get 10% off your delicious new device. Again, that is ppupod.com and enter code PRIVATE10. And it really helps support the show. It helps support yourself and your own sex drive. So go ahead and use the link in the episode description. We can all be horny together. We can keep this podcast going. So get yourself a fleshlight and get yourself off. Oh my goodness. What a fun freaking wedding, you guys. I did really crush it on the wedding planning. Aside from that Joe's stone crab thing, I really did nail it. Vegas is the wedding capital of the world. I did not know that when I first started wedding planning, but now it totally makes sense to me. I think the real upside of a destination wedding in Las Vegas is that there are a ton of cheap flights and there is a wide variety of accommodations in different price ranges. So some destination weddings can be crazy and totally drain your bank account, but we didn't feel like that was the case with Vegas. Like it wasn't overly burdensome for our guests. And so that definitely factored into our decision to have it in Vegas. And it also felt right for us because that's where we got engaged, which was sort of by accident, but that's where it happened anyway. So it just had a little sentimental value for me that way too. So like we were talking about earlier, our beloved dog Georgia passed away in December, early December, and it was so hard on us. And then we'd already been engaged for a year and a half, but we were like, I guess we just realized time is finite and we've been together for 7.5 years and maybe we should just do it. So like we love each other. We've been living together for 7 years. Let's just do it. And I didn't feel any anxiety about the wedding. And I think it's because I waited so long. I am so glad we have 7.5 years under our belt before we did this. So that's just a note on that, I guess. Everyone's different, but we're tested. We've been through COVID. We've been through a lot of different things and it feels good. I feel confident in our relationship, which I think takes some of the pressure off. So when we finally decided we were going to do it in Las Vegas, we started legitimately planning in January. And I sent everyone an RSVP text first. My friend Danielle was laughing at me about that. She was like, no, it's perfect because I just wanted people to set the time aside right away. And I didn't want to do this big mailing thing and buy expensive invitations and all of that. I didn't even want to do anything in the mail. I was like, I'm going to do that after. I'm going to send people really nice thank yous with pictures after. So I just sent RSVP text messages and then I sent an actual invitation online via paperless post. And we didn't even wind up paying for any credits. I could have like upgraded with paperless post, but I didn't have to do that. That part was free. And then we booked Little White Chapel. We actually booked that first because I felt like that was the most important piece of it. Little White Chapel is like the most iconic of the Vegas wedding chapels. It's where Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez got married, Bruce Willis and Demi Moore, Frank Sinatra and Mia Farrow. Britney Spears got married there. So many people got hitched at the Little White Chapel. So I wanted to do it there. And I love their interiors are kind of iconic. We had 36 guests with the baby, with little baby Polish. So we upgraded to their larger chapel. And I also got the basic photo package as a backup. The whole photo thing was kind of figured out last minute. And luckily we found someone awesome, Keith Kaplan. I'm going to include his link in the description. But I basically got an extra photo package through Little White Chapel, just their most basic one, just in case, because I didn't know Keith. We kind of booked him just like 10 days before the wedding. And even though he wound up being fantastic and there was nothing to worry about. I'm really glad I listened to my gut on that because you cannot have too many pictures of your wedding. And I am so happy that I have both sets. And Keith was very reasonably priced as well. And then also at the Little White Chapel, we got the Elvis package with 3 songs. That was a little upgrade too. And our Elvis's name was Michael Conti. He has a website and he was wonderful. He was so, so good. I have to say, when I was walking down the aisle, I was unexpectedly emotional. That was kind of the craziest moment for me. He was walking me down the aisle. I guess I had some miscommunication with my dad. And I asked my dad if he was going to walk me down the aisle, but I think he thought I was joking in retrospect. And he was like, no. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll have Elvis do it. And then later, my dad was like, oh, I didn't know what you were saying. So anyway, it would have been really sweet to have my dad walk me down the aisle, but I would have been bawling for sure if it was my dad. And I could barely control my face just with Michael Conti. So, but yeah, he was a really great Elvis. And we booked the dinner at Joe's Stone Crab, which is at Caesars. And I went with Joe's because they put their prices on the internet. It was like $90 a person. And our booking miscommunication, I think, came from that I'm pretty sure I said we were having a Las Vegas wedding, but I think it went to their Chicago portal. And then I didn't really question it, and neither did Wade when we were going back and forth with them because I just thought I was communicating with someone at their corporate headquarters in Chicago. So they thought we were booking an event at Chicago, and we were not. And anyway, miscommunication on that, but it totally worked out. They were able to accommodate really beautifully, and I felt like we got a pretty good deal. I was very happy with the experience that we got and how much it cost, and I think it was amazing. Though for a second, when it was unclear like if we were going to be able to work it out, I was like, oh my God, are we going to have our reception at Senior Frogs? But that would have been its own kind of magic too. I got an Anthropologie dress. Wade took me down to Newport Beach, the Anthropologie in Newport Beach, like 6 weeks before we got married. And I tried on several dresses and she took my measurements, and you can get a bridal appointment on the website. I ordered 2 dresses. I returned one that I wasn't going to use. And the one that I wound up going with is technically designed to be a reception dress, but it was so perfect for me. I think it was like $6.95 or something. Really, really cute. I absolutely loved it. It was kind of a short dress. And then I just got my purse, a white purse on ThreadUp. So it was used, it was secondhand. And I got my shoes from Amazon. I hate shopping from Amazon, but it was just kind of last minute and I needed to know that they would get here in time. And Wade also got his sport coat from Amazon. He was going to get one that was like $1,200, and then he found the same thing for like $70 or less on Amazon. And then he just bought a pair of Buck Mason black jeans that he is planning on wearing as part of his regular wardrobe. So I'm not even counting the Buck Mason jeans because it's just like such a practical item that he got. I knew I wanted to get my hair and makeup done, and I was just kind of treating my wedding prep as like getting ready for a photo shoot. So normally if I was getting ready for a photo shoot, I would do a spray tan, I would get my nails done, and then I would get my makeup done professionally. I did not want to spend a lot of money on this, but I found a great option. It was LasVegasHairAndMakeup.com. So I just reached out to them. I wound up being booked with Karina, and she was fantastic. She was so good. And the whole thing was $200 and some. I mean, really so affordable, especially for wedding makeup. They gouge you sometimes so hard. And she did hair too. So I thought that was fabulous. I got a spray tan in LA. I always go to Beauty by Blair. And then I got my nails done in South Pass. at the place that I normally go to. We stayed at the Mirage, which is unfortunately closing, and they're like giving it a facelift, but it was awesome for this. I'm so glad we stayed there. We actually got a good deal on it. And then we just drove there from LA. So that was like no money. So basically our whole wedding costs a little over $10K. All of the essentials pretty much were within that $10K. But when you start to add in my makeup and the spray tan and the nails and the wedding video that I'm going to get, I have not got it yet, but I'm getting it made. That's like going to be $300. So those little extra things for me, it's maybe creeping up more towards $11,000. But I was really happy that we got all the main stuff within my goal of $10K. So that was awesome. I actually looked up, and the national average cost of a wedding in 2023 was $35,000. So it was definitely a cherry on top of a magical wedding day that we managed to keep it affordable. And we still got everything we wanted, like that anthropology dress, which I thought was adorable. But like some anthropology dresses are thousands of dollars. So I felt like we got everything we wanted and we were mature. Like the, old bride and groom that we are, we were like, we don't want to overspend on this. And it did not feel like a cheap wedding. The thing is, it felt awesome. And I told you about our friend's review that it was epic, that was effortlessly cool. And that is how it felt. It was such a good day. We both have such good memories. I hope you enjoyed the audio experience of our wedding. Oh, and one last tip is I got the photos back and I picked out a couple cute ones and I ordered thank you cards from Shutterfly. So the front of the thank you card is Wade and I posing at the Venetian love art sculpture. And then the picture inside is Wade and I standing next to Michael Conti as Elvis. They basically came out to a little over $1 a card for those, maybe like $1.50 or something for those cards. So not bad at all. And they are so cute and high quality. So I highly recommend Shutterfly for something like that. Oh, shout out to my bestie, Stacy. She planned a bachelorette for me. We went to Palm Springs like 3 weeks before my wedding. It wound up being really unfortunate timing because my grandma passed away. And so I left basically the bachelorette party and rushed back to Minnesota to try to see my grandma one last time. Anyway, it was an intense time leading up to the wedding after that happened. But Stacy's amazing. She made that weekend amazing despite everything that was going on. Our friends John and Melissa came and we had a blast. We stayed at Margaritaville and we just had a really incredible weekend in Palm Springs. So fun. And she also gave me, I didn't want anybody to give us gifts, but her and her family gave me the perfect gift, which is a painting of Wade and I's first Instagram official photo. So that was really, really sweet. And it was also really incredible to just have people that you love support you. So if you're thinking, at the beginning, when we first started planning, we were like, maybe we'll just go to the courthouse. That was mostly Wade's idea. He was like, let's just do it like tomorrow. Let's just go down to the courthouse and do it, just us. And that would have been special too. But I'm really glad we took a little extra time and we made it an event. People always say like, okay, we're going to throw a party in a year, or like we're going to elope and then we're going to throw a party after. And it doesn't always go down like that. So I'm really glad we just took a little extra time and invited our friends and family. It was so special to have my college bestie Danielle come. My friend Alex came. Stacy and her family came. Mike, who edits this podcast, came. And then a couple of my aunts. So it was just really so nice to have all of these people that we cherish with us to celebrate this incredible day that wound up being just a 10 out of 10. So that is my Vegas wedding. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some hot tips. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Private Parts Unknown. Stay tuned right here because I have got another sexy episode coming your way next week. For the latest episodes, look down and make sure you're following us on your favorite podcast player now. If you're on Spotify, it's like a follow and a bell button. On most apps, it's like a follow or a subscribe button. To stay in touch between episodes and to see some awesome wedding pics, follow me at Courtney Kocak. That is Kocak on Instagram and Twitter. And follow the show at Private Parts Unknown on Instagram and at Private Parts Un on Twitter. And hey, baby, I am shamelessly trying to hit the top 1% on OnlyFans, always and forever. I'm not slowing down, even though I'm a married woman. So if you are interested in a Playboy-style peek behind the podcast, you can subscribe to my OnlyFans account. It is onlyfans.com/CocoPeepShow. It is a horny way to support the show, and I so appreciate my horn dogs. So if you're interested, join me on onlyfans.com/CocoPeepShow. And of course, subscribe to our newsletter at privatepartsunknown.substack.com. There is a link for that in the episode description. And subscribe to the Private Parts Unknown YouTube channel for a video version of a bunch of episodes. There's also audio versions of the podcast on the YouTube channel now. They come out when the regular audio episodes come out. So it's always up to date. It is youtube.com/privatepartsunknown. That is youtube.com/privatepartsunknown. And check out my other podcasts for more of my audio creations. I have The Bleeders about book writing and publishing, and Podcast Bestie, which is a best friend to podcasters trying to grow and monetize their shows. And hey, if I have any writers listening right now, I am launching something really cool called the Midsummer Pitch Party all month long in July. We are going to develop our writing practice. We are going to get those dream bylines. I have a really just awesome month of programming, and you can learn all about it by going to my website, CourtneyKocak.com/teaching, CourtneyKocak.com/teaching. And I highly recommend checking it out if you are a writer, because it is like the writing intensive I wanted to see in the world. That is what I created. Shout out to Amy Rausch for the bomb-ass theme music. For more info about Amy and her music, check out amyrausch.com. That's Amy, RAASCH.com. This episode was mixed by my beloved audio guy, Michael Castaneda of Plastic Audio. And after enjoying this content, could we ask you for a quick favor? Just go to ratethispodcast.com/private and give us a 5-star rating and review. And we actually have some rating and review goals right now. You guys just helped us hit one of our goals. We had a goal to get to 145 ratings on Spotify, and we did it, you guys. We hit 145. That is up 3 from the last episode. Thank you so much if you are one of the privates that helped us get there. And now we have a new goal to get to 150. That's a great milestone. So if you're listening on Spotify, go to our page, go to the little hamburger sign, which is those 3 dots on the right-hand side of the screen at the top. Click on those and then hit rate show, hit all 5 stars, and voila, you have just made my freaking day. We did not hit our goal on Apple Podcasts. Really want to hit that goal. So we have a goal to get to 290 ratings on Apple Podcasts. We are at 285. So we need 5 ratings to get to 290. And I would love a new review, which I will read on the podcast. So you can give us a rating and review no matter where you're listening from by going to ratethispodcast.com/private and giving us a 5-star rating and review. We will so appreciate it. Helps other people find the show, makes me feel amazing. It makes for a great wedding gift if you want to give me one. So again, ratethispodcast.com/private. Thank you so much for sticking with me until the end. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring. Love you, privates.
Hawk fans, even if it's been years since you graduated, the Hawkeyes are your team for life. Well, you can have a Farm Bureau agent for life, and auto, and home and business insurance. Imagine that, one insurance agent for everything. It's that simple. Former Hawkeye and All-American Mitch King can be your Farm Bureau agent for life. Call Mitch at 319-653-5428. Tell him the walk-on sent you. That's 319-653-5428. It's your future. Let's protect it. Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company.